So this Friday, I'm going to be taking a 3-day trip to
PAX South, PAX South, PAX South.
Well, dude, to be honest with you though, PAX was not the scene for like us at all.
It really wasn't.
I mean, he likes retro games, and I like games too, but I don't like sucking at games in public. I mean, I suck at video games. And I like to play video games, but I like to suck in private.
Yeah.
When we first got to PAX, the thing I liked the most about it was the fact that we just walked straight in.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool.
We bought the badges online, and then
back in mid-November, and we got the badges 4 weeks before.
And they were really professional. They were really well done badges. I mean, you got yours right there. So, if you want to show that off.
Yeah, because 3-day pass was all orange and
orange and red. And then,
orange and red, and then like this part right here is all red. Friday pass was white, and then the Saturday pass was green.
They were all different.
Yeah, they were all different.
Dude, it doesn't matter what colors they were.
It doesn't matter. It was just really easy to get in. They just look at your card as you're walking, and they're like, whatever, and just go.
Well, you had the option when you bought the card to purchase some little trinkets.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I bought coasters because I'm a f***ing idiot. But I bought coasters because they're kind of neat. They're rubber, so they actually hold on to your drink. So that's nice.
That's awesome.
It was pretty overwhelming though going in because there was a lot of stuff going on.
And
they had this PAX experience thing going on where you got XP points and shit.
Yeah,
I had no idea what we were supposed to do for that.
Me neither. I couldn't figure it out.
And ignored it. Really
I had no idea how that worked at all. Like it really was confusing.
Well, they were talking about how you're supposed to get free swag and stuff too by using the app, but the app was so confusing.
Yeah, it didn't explain much.
Didn't know. And the schedule, in my opinion, was kind of crap because they didn't give very much description as to what was going on, when things were going to be happening, who was going to be involved in what was going on.
Yeah, that was a big problem.
They just said, this is the title, and some of it was just a title, no description. I don't know if that was all of it. I mean, I didn't go all the way through it, but there was a couple of things where
I went through all of it. Like, I tediously went through every single one, and it was the problem. Like, some of them didn't give any descriptions at all.
I can understand, though, now, the ones that actually had descriptions were the panels.
Yeah.
The panels had descriptions.
That made sense.
But the other things didn't make sense. Like, I wanted to go play Magic when I was there, and it just showed the times for Magic, but it didn't tell you what was going on, how it was being done, what the prizes were, nothing like that. There was no communication between the staff that were hosting the event and the staff that were hosting the separate Magic event at the event. There was no communication there. The only thing I could find on the forums too was that there was one guy talking about Commander, and he posted in July and once again in October. Jeez. It was the same guy twice. That was it. So it was a little ridiculous. Aside from that, if you're going there to get games or swag,
it's swag.
Yeah, they called it swag.
Swag.
They're a bunch of 12-year-olds that apparently go there, so it was ridiculous.
Most of the people that we saw there were like, they couldn't have been any older than 20.
They were all in their late teens to mid-20s for the most part, and then there were people that were older than that, of course, because I mean, we're there.
Yeah, we're almost 30. But yeah, well, you are 30 at this point. But yeah, it was just crazy going in there. It was hard to figure out where exactly we were gonna go first. Like we saw the Capcom going in, and then the first thing I saw right after that, other than Minecraft, which I could care less for, they had Monster Hunter. That big ass dragon was.
They did have a nice big ass dragon.
That was awesome.
Well, okay. So PAX itself was really well put together because there was a lot of really good booths. There was a lot of stuff going on. It was just you had to get outside your own shell. For people who are really introverted, it's gonna be difficult for them to get up and actually go through, and you gotta stand in line around a bunch of people to try and play games. And there's no real line. It's just chaos.
Yeah, it is. It's complete chaos. There's not even any kind of organized chaos to it whatsoever.
It's
a big mess.
All right. Well, I mean, a lot of the games that we played were we played the retro games. Like we played Tonight We Riot, which was amazing. The guy that was the developer that was there was actually trying to fix bugs as we were playing it. Like he's writing down the bugs and stuff and talking to us.
And that was pretty cool. Like that guy was really awesome. We told him how much we loved the game, and he was really stoked to hear that.
He did say that the game was supposed to be finished in about 3 months.
Yeah.
So he wasn't sure when it's going to be released, but he said he's looking at a summer release for Tonight We Riot.
But their company's called New Blood.
That was good. The other games that we saw there by some indie developers was Children of Morta.
Yeah, that was 11-bit games. That one was pretty damn good. That's where we ran into those really you ran into those really Twitch streamers.
Right, and I talked to the developers, which was kind of crazy because the developers I was like, did you guys talk to those Twitch guys? They're like, yeah. I'm like, they're assholes. I go, thank you. Even the developers were telling me that the Twitch guys I don't know if they were Twitch streamers, they had names in the back.
They were Twitch streamers.
What I felt like telling those Twitch streamers was that I'm sorry that your main viewership is between the ages of 12 and 15 and haven't discovered their peckers yet. Because otherwise they'd be watching porn and not your bull.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I ran into one Twitch streamer when I was out for a smoke break, and he was a really good guy. Easy to talk to. He was a lot of fun. There were some nice Twitch streamers.
At the same time,
but
I
those
can
guys,
see it because we're at a gaming event, so at a video game convention. So obviously, there's people there that know them.
Yeah.
So they might have been just frustrated at that point by just having to tell people back off. But at the same time, you don't deal with that shit on a daily basis because you're a Twitch streamer. You deal with that on the internet, not on the street.
Yeah, and it's way different. It's way different.
You're not Arnold Schwarzenegger famous, all right? You're fucking. I don't know how. Anyway, I will say that all the developers we talked to were phenomenal.
Absolutely, every developer was really nice. They were very detailed.
Some of the guys, like the programmers and everybody, some of the guys at Mega Cat Studios.
Yeah, Mega Cat.
One of the games I picked up there was Log Jammers. This is a new NES game from last year, dude. We gotta play this game again because this thing is fun. But they had several games there for sale, brand new games, and then you picked up one.
I got what was it, Justice Duel. That one was pretty cool.
Where you can play like as Abraham Lincoln up riding a bald eagle.
Yeah, you can ride a bald. It's like Joust. You ride a bald eagle, and you throw flagpoles at people instead of spears.
And then
it's hilarious.
You have Almost Hero, which is almost a good game.
Yeah, that one was.
I mean,
almost,
I tried playing it the other night. Maybe it's because I'm really bad, but the game's really difficult. Maybe I don't understand the controls. They should have come with instruction. I bought the game new. I mean, if it comes new, it should come with an instruction manual at least. It's a brand new game.
Yeah.
They have the boxes, they have the instruction manuals, but they don't bring them with them to the convention.
That was a bit of an issue there. Like, if you're going to have a product, you're going to sell it, make sure it's a complete product. Because that was the problem. They only had the cartridges.
I don't blame them though, because
I
think they were selling the games with the box and the instruction manual for $50 online.
Yeah.
Because then they can ship it. But since they're coming all the way from Pennsylvania, I think it was, the games were good. The quality of the games were pretty good. I wouldn't recommend Almost Hero as much as I would Log Jammers and Justice Duel.
I love this one.
But that was
a lot of fun. Yeah. But these are like plug and play games.
Log Jammers is available on Xbox. And it was separately developed for the Xbox. So this game is the same as the one on the Xbox. The only difference is the Xbox one looks a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, and I have footage of both the Xbox one that they were playing and then the NES one right next to it because they had them both lined up right next to each other.
Which I managed to beat the developer.
Yeah.
On the NES one, the NES one was he saw my asshole on the Xbox version, but the NES was the great equalizer. It was it was an equalizer.
It was straight up.
Albeit, I have to say, he might have probably let me win.
Another one that there was the 8-Bit Heroes. They did Mystic Origins.
Which they did pretty well with that because they sold you that for $50.
Yeah, $50, and it's a lot like The Legend of Zelda. And I mean, it's like those old VHS cases and everything with a manual. I mean, this is really cool. But yeah, like I played a little bit of this, and it's actually a lot of fun. It plays a lot like Zelda, so it's really easy to just pick up and play. But it's kind of funny when you try and talk to some of the village folk, because you gotta hit them in the face with a shovel to talk to them. So
it's a little awkward.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, we did go to Devolver's area where they had that one game. What was it called?
Devolver was the Swords of Ditto.
Swords of Ditto. That was a good game.
My battery's about to die. I'm gonna have to plug it in.
You're an idiot.
Go ahead and keep talking.
You're kind of dumb.
No, I'm not.
He's a little dumb.
I had to look over all that footage just to make sure we know what we're talking about while we're shit.
So you mean to tell me you looked over all that footage at home?
Yeah.
With you were like 5 feet from an outlet off the battery?
No. Shut up. Okay, so the Sword of Ditto, right? Swords of Ditto.
We didn't get to watch that very much.
No, I did get some footage of it though.
That's mostly because Devolver makes a game called Enter the Gungeon, which I should start playing the other day, and that's pretty freaking hard in my opinion. But that's because I suck at games. But bought the little limited edition Bullet Man.
But there were some other games, and I'll just go through those real quick as I wrote them down. There was Aftercharge, and that was basically 3-on-3. There was people on 3 PCs on the left side, 3 on the right side, and they were having a tournament. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you went through most of the game stuff because I went off and started looking at top stuff because I'm a huge nerd.
But you also played Magic the Gathering for like 6 hours.
I did not. It was 2 hours, and at least I won.
Yeah, that's true. There was also Messenger. I don't know who developed it, but there was this pretty cool game that was Messenger. Another one was Larian Studios' Divinity Original Sin 2. They were there showcasing that one. I actually got some footage of that game. It's basically an RPG online. I think it was MMORPG, I think. Tunic, ran into that game. Don't really have much to say about that one. There's Overland. Overland looked like a survival game, like post-apocalyptic.
Like I said, when I went over to the tabletop areas, I was looking at. I think we were looking at was the Exodus of the West. There was the Exodus of the
I
West.
love that one. Like I would love
kind of like Warhammer, where you have little characters, and a little map or whatever, and you move around.
And it takes place in the Wild West, but it's steampunkish.
Right, but you also have cards involved, and turns and dice and a whole bunch of going on.
Yeah, and it looks like it'd be a hell of a lot.
It looked like a lot of fun. Some of the other stuff that we did was the Unlock! Exclamation point, which was cool to do. Unlock was an escape game in cards with a phone app. Problem was that the guy was helping me out a lot. Right. Well, not a lot, but he was helping me out a little bit. The game was fairly simple. You had to find clues on a card and then match them up with numerical values, and in the backs of all the cards were the numerical values, and if you added 2 face-fronting cards or whatever to get a different number, you could see in this deck to see if that number existed, or it was interesting the way the game worked. The problem was once you beat the card game once, it's got no replayability because you've solved the puzzle. Now you know exactly what to do. There's no replayability.
Yeah, there's none, and
it's no longer a mystery. You've solved the mystery. Nowhere, albeit each mystery is only $15, but it's only $15 for you to sit there on a phone and some cards for about 10 minutes.
One of the other games that I saw was Shoe, which kind of reminded me of Limbo a little bit, but Shoe looked like it was pretty interesting. It was
Shoe was a platformer with a freaking owl. It was boring as crap.
I thought it was pretty good.
In my opinion, it was boring. It was just another run-of-the-mill platformer that...
Sometimes I like them.
Dude, it was just a platformer, man. It's 2018. You can't... I'm sorry, it didn't have a whole lot going for it.
Alright.
What it looked like was somebody decided to upscale Flappy Bird. Okay.
I'll give you that one. There's another one, Necro Ball. You were there for that one. You saw Necro Ball.
Ooh, no, I don't remember.
Let's not worry about it. You're basically called a glorified soccer.
Oh, I did. It was soccer because you were trying to do I think you were trying to get the skull in the net or some crap like. I wasn't paying too much attention because it was a 16-bit game, but I mean I was confused as to what was supposed to be going on.
Yeah.
And it had a soccer field because it was divided, or even a hockey. It was a soccer field because it was a square with a line in the middle and 2 squares in the ends, and there was points on the top. And
I don't have to give a description. I got the video footage of it. But yeah,
what if somebody's listening in the car, asshole?
Goon Studios did Duskwind, or whatever the it was. It was Dusk, W-U-N. I don't even know what the but it kind of looked like, I can't explain it. It was weird. But yeah, there's one of my favorites that I saw there that I want to try out was Payne's Creek Killings.
You were talking about that on the way home.
That one looked pretty interesting because you have to solve a murder. And
oh yeah, you're solving one murder the entire game.
it looks like it. Like you have to figure out who the murderer is, what the motive is, where they're going to strike next, or something along those lines. It looks pretty interesting. Limited Run. You want to talk about Limited Run?
Limited Run was cool. I've been actually looking at that for a minute. Limited Run, what they do is they take indie games, put the games on a physical copy, and release them in a limited run. I mean, that's kind of the point of the name. So it's limitedrun.com. What they do is they almost sell it almost immediately. They say that they reserve about 10% of their stock for conventions that they go to. But they take indie games or other games that were only downloaded online. That only have a
Right, they're digital only.
Digital only. There we go. That's the word. They only have a digital only copy, and then they make them physical. But they do a small print run, and so then you can go on their website, order your copy, and when they're sold out, and that's how it is.
And Wormwood was the best one that we saw.
They had some pretty badass stuff. They didn't sell dice, or if they did, I didn't remember. They had dice in their containers.
Yeah, they did.
They work in wood, so they had the Dungeon Master screen or whatever that they built.
That thing was really cool.
Where they had a dice tower that had magnets on the side, and then the little sleeves on the side of that. It's a DM map.
Yeah, and that whole entire thing that stretched from end to end was what, $800?
From the rosewood or the redwood skipping the redwood, going from I think it was
right.
I can't remember what it was made out of, but the cheaper wood. I think it was about $800 for about about 4 sections.
Yeah.
About $800. But then the redwood stuff was,
and that was just
one tower
section.
and one little booklet was like $900.
$900, and that was
or $695 for that one. I can't remember how much it was, but it was pricing varies based on the wood that they used.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, they have dice towers where you can put the dice on the top of the tower. It falls through and it randomly rolls it for you, so nobody can just drop dice on the table.
So it's RNG, and nobody can sit there and say, "Hey, you dropped it on a 20 on purpose" and stuff like that.
Warmer Gaming is pretty good.
I think the last thing that I want to touch on before we go into the game finds is we went and saw Game Mania, which was the first store that we went to that had Ragany in there, and that game typically loses $600. And complete box usually about $1,200.
They were trying to sell it for $3,000.
They were trying to sell it for $3,000, and their argument was because it's in pristine condition. Like, that's bullshit, and they knew it. But yeah, they were trying to sell it for $3,000.
It wasn't rated. There was no rating.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, but it's not graded. Granted, it could be in really great condition, but you're not going to tell me that your game's worth $3,000 when a complete in-box version that I can get for $1,200 somewhere else is similar.
Yeah, exactly.
It may be a little bit more beat up, but I'm not paying $1,800 extra for something that's got a few less dings.
Yeah, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But they did have some games there that were a decent price. But they were
all going for the going rate, if not $5 more, because you have instant gratification of purchase.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
anybody going to a convention like that, or say you go to a comic book convention, you're not going to a comic book convention to get good deals of comic books. It's just not happening. You go to a comic book store to try and get good deals, or eBay or stuff like that.
Yeah, but I noticed that they were putting the price down a little bit for me because I was actually able to price things just by looking at them, so they knew I knew what I was looking at.
Yeah, and then there was the other ones that was the dial-up games that they were marking all their...
dial-up games, that one was alright.
I didn't like it because they had multiple copies of games, and then some games had different pricing on them than others.
Yeah, and it didn't
and they
make
looked
sense.
exactly the same.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. I mean, I picked up one game from them, but that's because I have a hard enough time trying to
I
find
picked up a game
thing.
from them too, but...
And then there was Game Over Video Games.
Which we have one in Austin.
Right, and
we
then
actually have two in Austin, one in
Yeah,
North Austin,
and-
one in South Austin.
Yeah, and I want to go to it. Like, I really do, because they have
I've
a lot.
been. It's a lot like Game Exchange, only they have more retro stuff.
Yes, they do. So then there's Video Games New York.
That was the one where they had the big old towers and stuff from behind glass cases and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one. They had, you had to figure out where their booth was.
The one where you paid $15 more than what you should have.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they were definitely overpriced. They weren't selling as many games as they were hoping, but that's because of how overpriced a lot of their games were.
And you're at a gaming convention. There was only 3 places that were selling retro games, but
Yeah,
then you're at PAX. It's new video games.
Yeah, PAX is just glorified. It's just a glorified, mostly indie developer convention.
We could have called it PAX South Indies because there was mostly indies. There was Capcom and what else was there that was major?
Is Devolver a major one or no?
No, it's indie. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure Devolver's indie.
Okay, because
At least
Capcom's the only one I can think
I mean,
of.
Devolver's making multiple games, but they're all in the 16-bit, 8-bit.
Right, they're all in the
retro
indie
style.
genre. Yeah, and just I mean, Capcom was the only one I saw there that was a big AAA developer. That was it.
Yeah, pretty
That
much.
was- yeah.
So it was indie South.
Yeah, it was basically what it was. You got a Nintendo.
I did pick up a Nintendo
You got Crazy Taxi on the PS2.
because I bought a Nintendo.
Right, exactly.
Occupado.
Dinner's ready.
We'll be done in a minute.
Yeah, we're just about done. But yeah, you got Crazy Taxi, and I got this for free from you because you bought the Nintendo, and they said anything $10 or less free.
All right, and it was free.
Yeah, it was free.
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 If I hadn't bought the
Contra. Yeah, I got Contra, and it said 40, but the guy put it down to 35 for me, so I ended up paying like $3 more than what it's worth. But that's
You're at a convention, and it's
a
instant
convention.
gratification.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. And, the one that I was not really regretting, but because I normally wouldn't go 15 over, is Fear Effect.
Yeah.
Like I really wanted this game.
That's why you're supposed to bust out your phone and look at pricing.
I did it on the spot already. I already knew how much I was getting.
So
into.
you just decided I want to get for $15.
Basically.
You're cheap poor.
The next one would be Shadow Man on the N64. This one's complete box. The box is not in that great of shape, but
At least you have a pretty cover for it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
plastic.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It's plastic. I needed one more game to complete my Double Dragon franchise, and that was Double Dragon 3, and they only had it complete in box. Like this was the only one I could find, and it was complete in box.
I don't think
So
I even
I
bought.
was like, damn it.
I bought 2 new games and I didn't get them in the box, which is kind of worse. So I gotta contact them.
What I think is bullshit is like the one thing I looked for the most was Super Nintendo games. But every single time I look for Super Nintendo games, I find Nintendo games that I'm looking for. And it's aggravating. It's aggravating. But at least I found some of the things that I've really wanted.
Well, the other thing that I purchased was Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Just because, for funsies, I want to try and beat Mike Tyson, and I suck at video games, so this is going to be frustrating as hell. It's going to take some time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while before I beat Mike Tyson.
Oh,
No, for those that don't know, there's actually 2 copies of Mike Tyson's Punch Out. There's Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and then there was a legal issue, and now there's a Punch Out.
I actually have both of them.
So, both versions of the game are the exact same, just the final boss is not named Mike Tyson,
It's
and has a different, he's got the same killer uppercut, and
yeah, see,
it's the same boss, just a different name.
was it Mr. Dream? I think
I
it
think
was.
that's what they've changed it to,
Yeah, Mr. Dream. So yeah, when it comes down to PAX South for retro gamers, like it's not really.
You go to PAX for to see new games that haven't come out yet, haven't released yet, things that you're interested in. If you are interested in playing new games that haven't come out yet, or you're interested in tabletop games, or you're interested in Magic the Gathering, I'd say go.
So I think we decided that we're not going to go back to PAX.
Not because PAX wasn't good. PAX was amazing. It's
It
just
was.
not for us.
Yeah.
We're not the kind of people that really need to know exactly what's coming out in 3 months or play the things that haven't come out yet. I'd rather play things that came out 30 years ago because, well, I haven't played them all yet. So what's
Yeah.
the point of moving on to the new stuff?
And we played a few games that haven't even come out yet, and that was actually pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, the next convention that we're probably going to go to is going to be more of a retro-based. Why am I looking at Final Fantasy Origins?
I don't know. I'm just gonna look at
Classic Game Fest in Austin, Texas.
There we go. That's probably where we're gonna go next.
Yeah, that's what we're planning on going to, because it's going to be all retro game based. That pretty much sums this up. So for my next video, I'm going to be doing a Super Nintendo Classic Edition review, and I'm still working on the script on that one, trying to make that a little funny.
The Super Nintendo Classic.
Which you have one too.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
The one that I bought you for Christmas?
Yeah, you bought me for Christmas, then you bought yourself one just a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, well, it's because I found they would only let me buy one, man. They're like, no, one per household. I'm like, my wife, I should have just still called her my girlfriend. Be like, she's gonna buy one too. Oh yeah, you guys live together? No, I just sleep there.
All right, well, hope you guys liked this video. As always, don't forget to hit that like button down below if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, remember 22 and stay classy, bros.
What the f does that mean?
Exactly.